2026 is going to be a historic World Cup. For the first time ever, 48 countries will participate in the event, allowing more countries to participate on football's biggest stage, including 4 debuting teams. Today, I'll walk you through how each of those teams made it, starting with Uzbekistan. Probably the biggest debut story, at least in regional terms. This is the first time they are going to the FIFA World Cup. Uzbekistan's national team, nicknamed the White Wolves, has long been one of Central Asia's strongest teams. Since their independence from the Soviet Union in 1991, they've had their ups and downs. They've been competitive in Asian tournaments, but World Cup qualification always seemed just out of reach. Their qualification campaign for 2026 was solid. On June 5, 2025, they secured a 0-0 draw in Abu Dhabi against the United Arab Emirates. That point was enough to clinch second place in their qualifying group and guarantee direct World Cup qualification. They lost only one match during their 12-game qualifying campaign. Their head coach, Timur Kapadze, deserves a lot of credit. He was appointed just a few months before the decisive matches, and under his leadership, Uzbekistan finally broke through. Among the key figures are Eldor Shomurodov, one of their most prominent forwards. Playing in Europe, his international experience became even more valuable for Uzbekistan as they chased this dream. Also crucial was the performance of goalkeeper Utkir Yusupov. In the draw against the UAE, he made several key saves, especially in the second half, preserving the clean sheet and ensuring that vital point. This qualification is deeply symbolic. Uzbekistan is now the first Central Asian country to ever reach a qualify for a FIFA World Cup tournament. For a country that had suffered heartbreak over 7 previous qualification attempts, this is a watershed moment. When that draw became enough to qualify, the celebrations back home were massive. Streets in Tashkent filled with national pride. It's a golden page in Uzbekistan's football history. And for them, this isn't just a first World Cup, it's the culmination of decades of development, ambition, and resilience. Next, let's talk about Jordan, another nation making their World Cup debut in 2026. Jordan's national team, known as Al Nashama, has steadily grown over the years. Under coach Hussein Amuta, they developed a balanced, disciplined style, and they carried that into the qualifiers. Their decisive moment came on the 5th of June 2025 when they beat Oman 3-0 away. The hero of the night was Ali Olwan, who scored a hat-trick, a historic performance for his country. That win alone wasn't fully enough. Jordan still needed help. But later that same night, South Korea beat Iraq, which mathematically secured Jordan's spot in the top 2 of their qualifying group. Over the campaign, their defense was rock solid. They conceded just 8 goals in the third round. That was one of the best defensive records in their group. Beyond Olwan, other notable players include Musa Al-Tamari, a winger who plays in Europe for Rennes, who brought real pace and creativity. Also, Yazan Al-Naimat, another attacking talent, played a big role in their qualifiers. The emotional weight of this qualification is huge. Jordanians poured into the streets in Amman, car horns, flags waving, people singing. The fact this happened during Eid al-Adha added even more meaning. For many, it felt like a double celebration. King Abdullah II himself joined in the praise, calling the squad heroes and recognizing their achievement as a unifying moment for the nation. At the 2026 World Cup, the world will witness one of the most inspiring stories in modern football. A small island nation in the Atlantic Ocean, a nation with a population of less than 600,000. will step onto the biggest stage in world sport for the first time. This is the incredible journey of the Blue Sharks from Cape Verde on their historic journey to the FIFA World Cup. For decades, Cape Verde dreamed of reaching the World Cup. They were a team full of passion, but limited by resources, geography, and expectations. Many believed the dream was simply too big for such a small nation. But beneath the surface, something powerful was growing. Cape Verde built a new identity, bringing together players from across the islands and talent from their global diaspora. Footballers born or raised in Portugal, the Netherlands, France, and beyond chose to represent the homeland of their parents and grandparents. United by pride and a shared dream, they began to believe that history was possible. Guided by head coach Bubista, Cape Verde entered the African qualifiers with discipline, spirit, and fearless football. They faced giants, teams with far bigger populations, stronger infrastructures, and long World Cup histories. But the Blue Sharks fought with heart in every match. And then came the decisive night. Playing in front of a roaring home crowd at the National Stadium in Praia, Cape Verde delivered a performance that would echo across the world. A confident, powerful 3-0 victory. When the final whistle blew, the stadium erupted. Cape Verde had done the impossible. They were going to the World Cup for the first time in history. The celebration wasn't just about football. It was about identity, resilience, and national pride. A country once overlooked became a symbol of what determination can achieve. Cape Verde became the second smallest nation ever to qualify for a World Cup. Proof that greatness isn't measured by size, but by courage. In the streets of Praia, people danced, sang, and waved the blue flag through the night. For many, it wasn't just a sporting achievement. It was a moment that united generations, children, parents, and elders under one dream. Cape Verde's World Cup debut is more than a football story. It is a message to the world. No dream is too distant, no nation is too small, and when a people believe together, history can change forever. This is the rise of Cape Verde, the Blue Sharks. A new chapter, a new hope, and a story the world will never forget. In 2026, football fans around the world witnessed a miracle from a place many had never expected. A tiny island in the Caribbean, with the population of a small town, stepped onto the biggest stage in world sports. This is the unbelievable, inspiring rise of Curaçao, the smallest nation ever to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. For years, Curaçao was known for its beaches, its music, and its vibrant Caribbean culture. Football? That was a dream, a distant one. But dreams have a way of growing quietly. Curaçao began to build something special. They united players from the island with Curaçaoan talents raised abroad. In the Netherlands, in England, in Europe's top academies. These players carried two identities, the countries they grew up in and the island rooted in their family's heart. Together, they formed a team fueled by pride, passion, and the belief that even the smallest nation can chase the biggest dreams. Under legendary coach Dick Advocaat, Curaçao played the qualifiers with discipline, intelligence, and courage. They entered the CONCACAF group stage not as favourites but as fighters. Match by match, they surprised everyone. They didn't lose a single game, not one, 3 wins, 3 draws, a defensive wall. A team that refused to break. And then came the final showdown. Kingston, Jamaica, a packed stadium, the home team desperate for qualification. Curaçao needed at least a draw to keep history alive. For 90 intense minutes, they defended with heart, blocked every attack, pushed their limits. And when the match ended 0-0, the impossible became reality. Curaçao finished the group at the top. They were going to the 2026 World Cup. News spread instantly and globally. A nation of just 156,000 people had made football history. Curaçao wasn't just going to the World Cup. They had become the smallest nation ever to earn a place in the tournament. In Willemstad, the streets filled with flags, drums, and celebration. Families hugged, children danced, people cried, Not because of a trophy, but because of what it meant. It meant hope. It meant identity. It meant that their island, small on the map but massive in spirit, had shown the world what determination can do. Curaçao's journey to the 2026 World Cup is more than a sports story. It's a reminder that size does not define destiny, that courage can rewrite history, and that even the smallest places can shine the brightest. This is the rise of Curaçao, a blue wave that carried the heart of a nation to the world stage. A story of belief, a story of unity, a story the world will never forget.